to you. I found my journal. Yay. Right now I'm just looking at the page, and this craft paper over here is very thin. So I'm kind of contemplating what I should do first, and of course I just made some scribbles to kind of get the flow of the page moving. Put down some Deco Arch gesso with the palette knife, just a little bit, kind of getting a feel for the spread and what I'm going to do today. I'm looking over here in the background for some rice paper handwriting. A lot of airmail back in the day was sent on rice paper, and it's a really cool element to use in collage materials. So I'm going to just put down a few little strips of that to kind of get some interest going in the background. And one of the things I thought about today, and I've had requests for, is doing kind of an Inky girl. This page I am going to do a face. It is going to go a little further than what my Inky girls tend to go. And I think it had to do, excuse me, with the craft paper being a little darker, and I wanted to push it to kind of come forward a little bit. I'm going in here with the Deco Arts media paints and also the folk art color shift paints, just to get some kind of color on the page. As you know, I do love color, and I wanted to kind of see where that took us and how I was going to do it. And then there for a minute I kind of tinker back and forth with which side should I use, because the map side, the back side of the map over there, that's the ivory white color, would be a lot easier because it's a little bit harder, but I did want to kind of push it, since I don't believe I've ever done one. No, I have done one on craft paper. So yeah, I just wanted to do it over here. So I'm just showing you that I go to the very back side of that Stabilo page and just kind of get some guides as far as the face is concerned. Just some wee bit of marks, nothing really crazy cool about that. I will tell you that the craft paper, it wasn't like gessoed all over. It did not allow the ink to really run in the way that I'm accustomed to it running on other paper. So if you've watched, or if you've gotten the magazine that I'm on the cover of, it's still available in wherever bookstores are carry it with Somerset magazine. I do still have this on the cover from till June the 31st about the Inky girls. So I will tell you, if you do the Inky girls with a thinner non-watercolor type of paper, you're not going to get the movement and the fluidity that you would if you used watercolor or something similar, Bristol, mixed media paper, that type of paper. You're going to get a little bit of flow going on a little better with that. And I'm over here playing with a little bit of that craft paper, trying to figure it out if I want to bring that over. And I will say that I have a pretty cool outline going on the background, so we'll probably have another face next week unless I come up with something different to do with that on the background. So, just to let you know, if you are using water and you're using the Stabilo or any other water soluble inks, you will find that it's not going to flow as well on this type of paper. So, now that that's out of the way, there is a way that we could have done it, which would be putting like clear gesso over that. I think it would have done a little bit better, but we're just rolling with the punches today, and hopefully this gives you some inspiration as an easy way to make a very messy, not so pristine face. So, I'm just going in here with my not water brush, but with a brush, and kind of moving that around and activate this Stabilo all. Because we have the color like in the top of her forehead, the paint is doing a little bit of a resist with that Stabilo. So, it's really just trial and error. Tinker with it. And then I wanted to add a little gesso here because I felt like she was not really standing out like I wanted her to. So I am going to go in, I'm going to lighten the face up just a little bit, and then I'm going to do a smear with the gesso. And I just do this a lot of times with my faces because I don't really like perfection when it comes to like a pristine whimsy face. Yeah, you're not gonna find that here. So I like messy and raw, and so I think that this gives that kind of aesthetic whenever I do it like this. So yeah, I'm not one to take a super long time in drawing a face. I don't want a realistic face. I want something raw that has a little more emotion. And I will say that without even thinking about it, the recent suicides that have been with some of the public figures kind of did make its way into the quote. And as I was drawing this, I kind of tried to let her attitude and personality come through. And with that being said, I'll kind of tell you as I go through kind of the emotions that was going on. So I'm using some charcoal powder. And I'm just going to go in with a blending stomp. And this is really good, guys, just to add a little, just add some shading to it. It's a really easy tool to use. They sell it at all of the craft stores and stuff. So if you don't have a blending stomp, I would suggest that you get one because it is a great way to be able to kind of add some shadowing and so forth into whatever style of page you really do. You don't need the compressed charcoal really, and it is kind of messy to work with, but I kind of like it, so that's why I use that. Is that graphite powder or is that compressed? I don't know, but you could use any type of charcoal or you know, sketching pencil. It will come off on that tip and kind of be able to be used in other things. Now, I really like this white China marker, especially when you're dealing with the Stabilo. It's kind of hard sometimes to be able to go back over the Stabilo and actually have the white show up. So I do use this a lot just to add a little highlight to whatever you're drawing or sketching. It's a cool way to add a little something something. And that's just a China marker, a white China marker. And I'm just making some kind of messy scribbles and outlines around her hair. And I will say it's kind of hard to draw a person and you're looking and you don't want your head to get in the camera. It's a little tricky here to do this, but hopefully I made it where you could see what was kind of going on. And now I'm going to go in with the ever so lovely Erin Happily We Go watercolors. And I'm going to go in, and I thought that kind of my thoughts here was how often is it when you are suffering in silence that you put on a good face, or like for Kate Spade example, she had a beautiful line of bright colored arts and handbags and so forth, and so you put on this great picture that everybody wants to see. So I was thinking you put on your pink cheeks, or you put on your blush and your rouge from back in the day, and then you go out and everyone thinks you have your shit together excuse me, when really you're suffering in silence. So that was kind of where this page was taking me, and the feelings that I did not have before I started this page. I really did not even think about it until I started drawing this girl, and this all surfaced. So I don't know if you ever experienced that when you journal or not. are working in your art, that emotions kind of come from places you don't even really expect them. But I just went with it, and I think it turned out to be a really cool page. So, I am going to go off camera here in just a second, and I'm going to write the handwritten quote. The problem with being strong is that nobody bothers to ask if you're hurt. And it kind of, like I said, stemmed from the recent news from those two public figures that committed suicide. So if you are struggling with depression, I will say there is lots of avenues to get help out there. Art journaling is a great therapy, but it is not a replacement for seeking help. So if you would just click that subscribe button, guys. I hope that you have an amazing Monday, and I suggest you grab those Stabilos in that water bottle and get to making some Inky Girls. Don't forget, follow me on Instagram. I do have a Facebook page too. I love to see it. Tag me in it. I love to support my fellow art journalers. So until next time, toodaloo!